Hi everyone, it's Purple Honey here, and it is really sweet to be back. I'm here reading a Reddit story with my husband. Say hello.
Hello.
He's kind of doing his own thing, but he will be interjecting from time to time. But I will be, for the most part, reading this Reddit story, and it is Would I be the asshole for pushing my mother away from my sister after she yells at her? Hi. So, my mother and sister were arguing over the fact that my mom over explains everything. I would show recordings, but I don't have anything, nor would this community allow it. I had gotten myself involved because my father sleeps during the day since he works at night. The door to his room was open, and I figured that I should stop them. So my dumbass decides to go out there and try to get them to stop. I yelled a bit because I was fed up. This wasn't the first argument that was this bad. In fact, this is the usual way they go, to be honest, and even as of now, they are arguing over it. My dad comes out of the room, yells at them to stop as I did. There is more yelling and screaming, but only from my mom. As I'm typing this, the same kind of thing is happening, but I'm not involved. When I did hear a small slap sound, my mom had her hands very close to my sister's face, and my sister did a slap of some kind, and I wasn't in there when it happened, so I don't know how hard it really was. This is the part that makes me contemplate whether I am an asshole or not. Okay. So I'm back in the room. My father is there, and my sister and mom were sitting down on the couch. My mom's face is red as a tomato, and she is screaming at us. My mom then gets up, turns towards my sister, who was sitting right beside her. A little bit of backstory. When we were younger, my mom would pin my sister to the recliner we had and yell in her face. Her face looking the same way as it did then. Now, I was right there, and out of instinct or fear, I got in front of her and pushed her gently but firmly away while saying, "Get the fuck away from her," a few times. She went back to my father's room and called her mother. She usually does that when she has nobody to defend her. And my sister and I talked about what just happened. The next day, we had gone shopping, and my grandfather, who was indeed an abuser to an extent, he did hit my grandma before I was born and started getting on me, my sister, and my dad. Apparently, my father had condoned it, but he immediately said he didn't. My grandfather was acting sarcastic about some of the things, like when my mother clapped her hands very close to her face and touched her nose. She said something like, "Oh, did it hurt?" in somewhat of a sarcastic manner. When she was done being rude, he got his gator and left. And the way he pulled out was kind of reckless. As of typing this, they're all arguing again, and my mom is yelling, and I don't even know what to do.
Well, I think the author already kind of suffers from what the mother goes through and over explaining. But,
Definitely.
I think the biggest problem in this story is, unless I missed it, I don't think there's, the reason for why they're in there in the first place. Why are the. Why is the mother and the sister arguing or yelling already?
Yeah, we need a little bit more context than, am I the asshole for pushing my mom away from my sister? Like, what did the sister do? What are they yelling about? Is just this a normal family dynamic where you're just yelling at over nothing? And if so, then I would recommend leaving. Like, because I'm assuming this is a kid because there's a lot of typos and a couple run on sentences.
Yeah.
Um, But this is a very fresh post. This is like 10 minutes old. So there is no update, unfortunately. Um, okay, there's one comment saying, okay, I have some clarifying questions. You don't have to answer them if you don't want to. Just a little confused. How recent did all this happen, and how old are you and your sister? You say your sister did a slap of some kind. Where? She slapped her mother's face or her hands? And is he your paternal or maternal grandfather? I'm guessing maternal. And you say he was abusive to your grandmother, but was he also abusive to one of your parents? And that was 1 minute ago. And another comment says, this is above Am I the Asshole's pay grade. And another comment says, I grew up in a home like this. Left at 17 and never looked back. Honestly, that sounds like the just reaction.
If it's like an abusive household, then like yeah, you'd kind of there's not a lot of options. You either suffer in there or you leave. But either or is a bit of a difficult thing unless there's like a family friend. For example, I guess a little not about me, but my dad. When he was growing up, it was a kind of well, not similar, but like if there was ever yelling and fighting, it would be bad. And there's a lot of drama in the house to the point where when he was like 16 or 17, he decided to leave. But like when he was about to be on the highway, he stopped in this like diner or whatever. I forget exactly the details, but there was a family there that he knew because he was friends with their son, and they saw him and they're like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, and he ended up explaining it away, and um, ultimately because they were there, he ended up living with them for a year or two, and which is funny. He grew up in a secular house, and the house that he ended up living in was a very kind of I don't know if it was a strict Christian house, but it was a Christian house, and it was kind of like a polar opposite of what he already was living in. But it's just that's like the best case scenario. You live with someone that you know, but like if you don't know anyone to live with, then like it's really tough because there's the unknown. And if you're like 13, then like yeah, you're in a it's very difficult to be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna run away from home. Like, where are you gonna run away to?
Yeah.
You,
Especially if you don't know anyone in the immediate vicinity.
yeah. Um, but yeah. It's just the biggest question is why was the fight happening in the first place? Because if it's like if the mom's overreacting, then like yeah, defend your sister. But in the same time, it's a bit tough because like all right, they're overreacting, but they are your parent, and you gotta like I guess there's that line of respect because honor your father and mother, but like the father and mother is not supposed to be beating their kid or if there's ever punishment, it's supposed to be a just punishment and not like a abusive punishment.
Yeah.
So it's just what did the girl or did the sister do anything like bad, or was it something small like oh no I accidentally spilled my tea and now the mom's yelling at me like, "Oh, you're so stupid for spilling the tea. You're blah 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 blah." Yelling. It just depends on why they were fighting.
Yeah. I think that's like the biggest question here is like why were they fighting? But yeah, as this one person said, this is above Am I the Asshole's pay grade.
Yeah.
Like there's not much you can do in this kind of situation. Like if you're between the ages of like 9 and 14, you can't really go anywhere. You can't really do anything. It's that middle ground where you're like, you can't really do anything, but whatever you do decide to do is like not really gonna be recognized or taken into any kind of serious consideration. But so that's probably going to be a wrap for today. I'm only probably going to be doing 1 or 2 stories per video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I've never done that before. But yeah, if you did like, please leave a comment and send me some links for some other stories that you want me to comment on, and maybe hear some input from my husband, although this isn't about him. But I'm Purple Honey. It's been really sweet being here, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.